England making a sweeping statement yesterday with literally a huge number of sweeps and reverse sweeps played, yielding a staggering amount of runs. I've been joined by Nasser Hussain in the middle here. Nas, just on the effectiveness and runs getting from the sweeps and reverse sweeps on England yesterday, quite remarkable.
Well, it's such a vital asset for a batter because a spinner will bowl his best or her best delivery and bowl it on a length, and then you get swept for 4 or even just swept for a single. I looked at all the overs yesterday bowled and only one maiden was bowled by a spinner. Now, I was lucky enough to play and work with the great Shane Warne. He wanted 6 deliveries at one batter. If you're constantly being swept for one, he's constantly having to bowl, a spinner's constantly having to bowl to different batters. So it just messes up the length and the mind thinking of a spinner.
Just as younger players watch as well, and back in my playing, I used to struggle with the sweep. Now, what are the key areas that you look at when you're playing the seat? I'm guessing length is ideally one.
And
what else are you looking at?
And picking up of length. And if you look at good players of spin, a lot of them are short. Wicket keepers in particular play the sweep shot well because you don't have tall wicket keepers, they're short. So when you're lower, you pick up the length of the ball a lot better. So if you look at Joe Root batting against seam, he's often very upright. But when you look at Joe Root batting against spin, he's a little bit more crouched in his stance, and he has a little forward press that gets him even lower. Someone like Ben Duckett is short anyway. So because he's short, he's immediately picking up the length of the ball. When you're tall, it's quite difficult. And also when you're tall, Kevin Peterson's a good example. He was a good slog sweeper, but he wouldn't be going down to play these paddle sweeps and things because he was almost too big a unit. It was too far to go down.
And not just the sweeps, reverse sweep. I mean, it's the England mindset that's evolved around that. We can have a look at some of the footage from yesterday, especially Ben Duckett. He was remarkable with those reverse.
Yeah, I mean, Root and Duckett were fabulous with that shot. It's almost like in our era, you used to play the forward defence. These guys now, this for them is like a cover drive or a forward defence. It is not an unusual shot for them. I go back to a World Cup where Mike Gatting was out reverse sweeping in a World Cup and the whole of England went mad. Why is he reverse sweeping in a big World Cup game? Nowadays, it's just a shot. They play, I coach in schoolboy, schoolgirl cricket at the age of 11. They are all coming out and playing these shots as if it's just a normal shot. They are not unusual shots anymore. If I advise any youngster out there, get your reverse sweeps out. And any coaches out there, don't knock them for playing the reverse sweeps. That's the way the game's going.
Just one more thing. It is slightly higher risk than playing with the conventional straighter bat, and we saw Root and Duckett both lose their wickets to the reverse sweep as well, or the sweep.
Yeah.
It does come into play when you sort of put slightly higher risk out there with that.
It is, but it is risk-reward. If you're getting a lot of runs off it, you're going to occasionally get out. The thing Root did wrong there, not wrong, he didn't quite get right, was the length was fuller. So he got tucked up for room because it was too full. He didn't have a release shot, so he could have gone down to reverse and then just played a little paddle. So there were times where, you know, the sweep and the reverse sweep do get you in trouble. That's a bit too full to sweep. He should have maybe just paddled that one away down. So when you get down, the coaches call it a release shot. So you're going for the big sweep, then it's really full, and then you just tap it. Root just went on with the big sweep, and it was too close to him, and it sort of tucked him up for room.
Right, Nas, how about we just throw a couple of balls at you and show us exactly how that's done?
Make me look silly now, yeah. Wasn't one of my great shots, to be honest.
Right, here we go.
Just give me one for reverse. I've nailed that. And another one for reverse.
Oh,
good with
fantastic.
Your wrist. I would generally get down a bit lower, but the wrists as well, you know, get your wrists. These fast hands that they have nowadays, that's what enables you to open up areas.
That's fantastic. That's lovely exhibition in the end and perfectly exhibited reverse sweeps in particular. Hope you've enjoyed that.